Okay, now three statements have been given and you are supposed to find which out of these three or which ones is or are correct. Okay, so pause this video and try to solve this. Hope you've been able to solve this. Now let's see this question. Equation of line K is given as, this is the equation, fair enough, which of the following must be true. So they talk about the intercept. Alright, the X intercept, fine. They're talking about the slope. They talk about the slope. Okay. So since they're talking about the slope, so two statements are talking about the slope. So let's find out what the slope would be. So AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. So let's convert it into Y is equal to MX plus C form. So BY would be equal to minus AX minus C. Y would be equal to minus A upon B X plus minus C. Okay, now here, if you convert it with mx plus c, so m is minus a by b, your slope, which is nothing but your slope, or m is minus a by b. So two statements are talking about slope. Let's evaluate them. B says, if b is positive, okay, if b is positive, then slope would be positive. If b is positive, then slope could be negative also, because okay, they're saying B, right? Sorry. So if B is positive, the slope still could be negative. Why? Because in that case, if A becomes positive, then the whole thing would be negative. So this is wrong. Slope is positive. It may not be positive. It may or may not be positive depending upon the sign of A. Okay. Statement 3. If A and B are negative, then slope is negative. Let's see. So what was the slope? Slope was minus A by B. Now both are negative. Okay, so if both are negative, then A by B would be minus upon minus positive, but minus is there. So entire thing comes out to be a negative value. So statement 3 is absolutely right. Okay, let's evaluate statement 1 now. Okay, so what have we found is that statement 2 is wrong, statement 3 is right. Okay. So they talk about the X intercept. Now, in order to find the X intercept, let's use intercept form. So AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. Okay. So that means AX plus BY is equal to minus C, and divide entire thing by minus C. Why are we doing this? Because we want 1 toward the right side. So minus C by minus C is 1. So what do we have over here? X upon minus C by A plus Y upon minus C by B is equal to 1. So this is the equation we have. X intercept is nothing but minus C by A. Now the question, statement 1 says, if A is positive, fair enough. If let's say A is positive, then intercept is positive. No, it may not be positive because minus is there. If C becomes positive, then this whole thing would be a negative value. So it depends on the sign of C. So is this correct? No, it's not correct. It may be negative also, not necessarily positive. So answer would be only 3 is the correct answer. C is the right answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question, guys. Okay, what is the area of polygon shown in the figure above? So pause this video and try to find out the area. Okay, hope you've been able to solve this. This can be solved in multiple ways. So one way in which you can solve is find out one area, one portion of the entire figure, and see if it is symmetrical, then multiply it with the number of times that figure has been repeated. So I can see this part as a trapezium, and this is a symmetrical figure. So if I calculate the area of this trapezium, I can simply multiply it with 4 because 4 such trapeziums are there. An area of trapezium is given by half into sum of parallel sides, that is A and B, these are parallel sides, A plus B into the vertical distance between them, that is H. So let's substitute the values, and this would give us area of one trapezium, and then what we'll do is we'll multiply it with 4 to get the answer, the total area. So half A plus B, how much would be A plus B? So this distance is actually A, and this distance B is 2A, horizontal distance is 2A. So 2a plus a plus 2a into what is the height? Height is nothing but a. The vertical distance is a into 4. So 1 by 2 into 3a into a into 4. 2 2s are 4. 2 into 3 is 6. 6a square is the area. C is the right answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, in a rectangular coordinate system, the point UV lies in the second quadrant and point XY lies in the third quadrant. Again, a question on quantitative comparison where we have to add X and Y and compare it with U plus V. Okay, pause this video and try this question. Okay, hope you've been able to solve this, and let's draw the diagram. So in coordinate geometry, it's always a good practice to draw the diagram. It would give you a visual clarity of that question. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and they are saying that the point UV lies in the second quadrant. This is the second quadrant, UV. And by sign convention, we know in the second quadrant, x coordinate is negative. So U is negative, V is positive. Okay, and they're saying that in this, and the point XY lies in the third quadrant. So XY is in the third quadrant. So by that understanding of sign convention, we can say that both X and Y coordinate would be negative in the third quadrant. And what do we have to compare? We have to compare X plus Y and U plus V. Now, give it a thought, guys. Now, prima facie, it might seem that the value of U plus V would be greater than X plus Y, because here in UV, one of the quantities is at least positive. But would the sum always be greater, U plus V? It may not be the case, because let's say, imagine if the quantity U, which is a negative quantity, it becomes a very large negative quantity. Now, in that case, U plus V would be a very large negative quantity, provided V is a small positive quantity, right? Let's say U is minus 100 and V is just plus 1. So it comes out to be minus 99, right? A large negative value. While the two negative values in the third quadrant, that is X and Y, they might be small negative values. Let's say both X and Y are minus 1. And in that case, minus 1 plus minus 1 would give you only a small negative value, that is minus 2. So we really can't say that which out of the two would be a bigger value. So answer would be D, that it can't be determined. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. Give it a pause and try this question. Hope you've been able to solve this. So again, a question on quantitative comparison. Slope of the straight line passing through the point with coordinates. Coordinates are given X and Y, and the slope is given as 2.5. So automatically what comes to your mind, since slope is given, so let's use Y is equal to mx plus c. And by the way, the question is asking you to find out the intercept. So it gives us even more reason to use the slope intercept form, right? So let's use the information that has been given. The slope is 2.5, right? The slope is 2.5. So m is 2.5 into, now see, this point with coordinates 30 and 50 lie on this, pass through this point line, right? Okay, so straight line passes through this point. That means these coordinates would satisfy the equation of line. That means let's put x is equal to 30 and y is equal to 50 in our equation, and in that case the equation would perfectly satisfy. So y is equal to 50 is equal to 2.5 into x is equal to 30 plus c. So in that case, this would be 30 into 2.5 is 75. This is 50 plus c. So which implies c would be 50 minus 75, which is minus 25. C is nothing but the y coordinate. C is nothing but the y coordinate. The y intercept. Sorry, c is nothing but the y intercept, and they're asking in column A the y intercept, which is equal to minus 25. Quantity B on the other side is minus 25. Both are equal, so answer would be C, that quantity in column A and quantity in column B both are equal. Hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so A, B, C, all these 3 points are collinear. What is the value of K? Alright guys, so pause it and try to attempt this question. Hope you've been able to solve this. So let's draw the diagram first. A, B, C. Okay, or let me draw it a little inverted. That would make more sense. So let's say this is A, this is B, this is C. Now, why I've drawn this line as inverted? Because we can demonstrate one simple point that, you know, beat any portion of the line on this line AC, be it AB or BC or AC, they would all have the same slope, right? So if we calculate slope at point A, it would be same. This slope would also be same. That is the angle, tan of angle made with the positive x-axis, right? Okay, so coordinates are given of point A, 2, 4, point B, 5, 3, point C, K1. The coordinates are given, and we need to find out the value of K. So what we can do is we can simply say that the slope of line AB would be same as slope of line BC. So let's use the slope formula, that is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, and equate the slope of these two lines. Let's say the slope of line AB is m1 and BC is m2. Let's equate m1 and m2. So m1 would be equal to m2, right? Okay, so don't get confused. m1 is equal to m2 is applicable not only on the parallel lines but also on collinear points, because both would have the same inclination. If collinear points are there, all the line segments that are made in that line, they would also have the same slope. So m1, that is slope of line AB, would be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Let's say this is 0.1, this is 0.2. So y2 3 minus y1 4, 3 minus 4 upon x2 minus x1 5 minus 2 is equal to, let's say this is 0.2, this is 0.1. Again y2 minus y1 1 minus 3 upon k minus 5. Let's solve this. So what do we get? Minus 1 upon 3 is equal to 1 minus 3 is minus 2 upon k minus 5, minus cancelled. So k minus 5 is equal to 6, so k is equal to 11. That would be your answer. So they wanted to ask the value of k, which is equal to 11. Hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Okay, here you're supposed to find the distance between two straight lines. So give it a pause and try this question. Hope you've been able to solve this. Now, first step, what we're going to do is we're going to make the equation of these lines. We're going to draw the line equations on the xy plane. Okay, first is x plus y is equal to 2. So we can write it as x by 2 plus y by 2 is equal to 1. We can divide the entire thing by 2. So this basically becomes this line, okay, with this as 2, this as also 2. Fair enough. And this one, if we divide the entire thing by 6, so it becomes x by 3 plus y by 3 is equal to 1. Again, intercept form. So both the intercepts, x and y intercepts, are going to be 3. So this is how it would look like. So let's say this is line L, this is line P. Okay, what are they asking? The perpendicular distance between them. The distance is always calculated as perpendicular distance. This we need to find out. All right. So since if we see this triangle, both these intercepts are 2. So it becomes an isosceles triangle. This angle is 90. So this would be 45. This would be 45 degree. So this is 90. So this is also going to be 45. So if I zoom this triangle, so what do we get? If I zoom this triangle, this is how it looks like. A right angle triangle with this distance as 1, because the entire distance is 3 and this is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, and this is 45 degree. What we need to find is x. So let's say this is base, x upon hypotenuse, because the side opposite to the right angle would be hypotenuse. Base upon is equal to cos theta. Cos theta, cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So x would be equal to 1 upon root 2. That is the answer. So D is the correct response. Hope this is clear, guys. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. The area of triangle formed by 3 points are given. So area would be simply, we'll use the formula 1 by 2 and x1 plus x2 plus x3 and then y2 minus y3 plus y3 minus y1 plus y1 minus y2. And all we need to do is just substitute these values. Let's say this is 0.1, this is 0.2, this is 0.3. Let's put the value 1 by 2. x1 is 0. 0 into whatever would give you 0, so no need to calculate. Plus x2 is 2 into y3 minus y1. y3 is 2 minus y1 is 0. Plus x3, what is x3? x3 is 4. y1 minus y2. y1 is 0 minus y2 is 4. So all we need to do is just solve this. 1 by 2, this is 0. So 2 into 2, 4 plus 4 into minus 4. 4 into minus 4 is minus 16. So minus 16 plus 4 is minus 12 upon 2 is minus 6. But since we are calculating the area, we would take the modulus value or the absolute value because the area cannot be negative. So answer would be 6. B is the right answer. Okay, this question, give it a pause and try to solve this question, guys. Okay, hope you've solved it. The equation of the parabola is shown in the figure and the equation is y is equal to 2x minus x square. Alright, and a point ST is below. So if we, instead of y, instead of x, we put S, instead of y, we put t, then the value of t, that is this vertical distance, would come out to be t is equal to, instead of x, just put s. So instead of x, put s, and instead of y, put t. So t is equal to 2 into s minus s square. So this is the vertical distance. T is the vertical distance, which is equal to 2s minus s square. So this is the vertical distance, 2s minus s square. So what are they asking in quantity B? They are asking this vertical distance. All right. And T is this value. It would T is equal to 2s minus s square. All right. So now the question says, okay, in order to compare these 2 points, all right, in order to compare these 2 values in quantity A and quantity in column A and column B, you must understand that if this point ST were on this parabola, then this would completely satisfy. That is, T is equal to 2s minus s square, right? If this point was on the parabola, this would completely satisfy. That is, T would be equal to 2s minus s square. And now what is T? T is nothing but, as we've seen, is the vertical distance of this point. Let's say, call this point A, right? Now, this vertical distance would naturally be smaller than this vertical distance. Now, this vertical distance would be in case if the point is on the parabola, but the point is not on the parabola. So, the vertical distance, this is going to be smaller, right? So, the vertical distance T is going to be smaller. So, it would be the value of quantity B would be greater than the value of quantity A. So, answer would be B. The value in quantity B is greater than value in quantity A. Hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, pause and try this question, guys. Okay, so let's solve this question. Now, what do we have? Y is equal to x plus b, and it has been given that the slope is 2. So, first information that we have is slope is 2. So, if we compare it with y is equal to mx plus the slope, mx plus c form. So, m is the slope, that is a is the slope, and they've given that a is equal to, the slope is equal to 2. So, first thing that we now know is that the value of a is 2. And they're saying x intercept is 5. X intercept is 5. So let's bring it in intercept form. So now it becomes ax minus y is equal to minus b. Okay, ax, and then we threw this y on the other side and b on the other side, and then let's divide it by minus b. So what do we have? We have x upon minus b by a plus y upon b is equal to 1. Okay, and x intercept is 5. So x intercept would be this value. Compare it with x upon a plus y upon b is equal to 1. So minus b by a is equal to 5. A we already know is 2. So minus b upon 2 is 5. That means b is equal to minus 10. And b is nothing but the y intercept, y upon b. So y intercept is equal to minus 10. And the other quantity on column B is also minus 10. So answer would be C, that both quantities A and B are equal. Okay, so let's move on to this question. Pause this question video and try to solve this question, guys. Hope you've been able to solve this. So what has been given? Straight line having slope. Okay, slope has been given. Passes through this point. So what comes to our mind? The intercept slope form. So y is equal to mx plus c. M is equal to 5 by 3, and this point passes through the equation. So this would satisfy. If we put x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 5 in this equation, it would satisfy. Let's do that. Y is equal to 5 is equal to mx is equal to 3 plus c is the y intercept. 3 gets cancelled, so c comes out to be 0. That means the intercept is 0. Intercept 0 means that it passes through the origin. It passes through the origin. So, okay. So, it will also pass through which of the following points? It would pass through the origin. B would be the correct answer. Okay. So, now let's try this one. Pause this video and try to solve this question, guys. Hope you've been able to solve this. So first let's make the diagram. It says find the area of triangle formed by the straight line y is equal to x plus y is equal to 4. So let's divide by 4. So it becomes x by 4 plus y by 4 is equal to 1. That means the x and y intercept both are 4. This is 4. This is also 4. Okay. With x-axis, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So what is the area? Area is this, which is equal to half into base is 4 into height is also 4. So 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8 would be the correct answer. Okay, so pause this video, guys, and try to solve this question. Okay, let's solve this question. It says a circle is there. Fair enough, a circle is there with center 5 minus 3. And it cuts the x-axis. So let's say this is the x-axis at point 4, 0 and 6, 0. All right. And they're saying they're comparing the circumference with 10 pi. So, okay. So these 2 points are going to satisfy the, or if we connect the center with either of these 2 points, then we're going to get the radius, no? Because radius is the distance from the circumference to the center. So let's find out what the radius would be by using distance formula. Radius is, okay, x1 minus x2 square, 5 minus 1 square plus minus 3 minus 0 square. Right, so 5 minus 3 is the center and 4, 0 is the point. So let's connect this. 5 minus 1 whole square is 4 square. Plus minus 3 square is 3 square, because minus would be plus. So how much this value comes out to be? 16 plus 9 Under root 16 plus 9 is 25. So this is 5. So radius comes out to be 5. Now the circumference would be 2 pi into r. So 2 into pi into radius is 5, which comes out to be 2 into 5, 10 pi. So the circumference comes out to be 10 pi. The quantity B also says 10 pi. Quantity A would be 10 pi. So answer would be C. Both the quantities are equal. So that brings us to the end of this session. Practice more questions from the official source, from the ETS guide, or you can practice more from the test series, Hello Study Global test series, and any question that you can get hands on as far as the coordinate geometry is concerned. Do practice and ask your doubts whenever you can. Thank you so much, guys. All the very best.